What's going on, Bulls Nation? Welcome into CHGO Bulls Pregame, presented by DraftKings Sportsbook, America's top-rated sportsbook. Download their app. Be sure to use promo code CHGO when you sign up. I'm Matt Peck. You can follow me on Twitter at Bulls_Peck. My guy Big Dave is at BAWL Sports. Our pal and producer Joey Spath is rocking with us. He is at Joey Spathis. We are CHGO_Bulls. Will to go Gottlieb at the UC for tonight's action. He will check in with us during postgame. Speaking of postgame, you know who else is scheduled to attend?
Who's this?
It's our guy Kyle Williams. He was hanging out with you guys a few nights ago.
He was hanging out with us.
Looking forward to having him here with us again.
Yes.
Gentlemen, been a minute. How we doing? How are you?
I'm doing very, very well. I feel great. Everything was wonderful, but, how are you feeling, sir?
I'm so much better.
Good.
I thought I was lost to the world of zombies for a few days there. Some nasty bug got me.
You probably were.
I was just telling my folks I'm choosing to blame it on the close talker on the plane next to me as opposed to my nieces who were just dripping in snot.
Dripping snot, yeah. That says a lot about.
Can't blame them.
Says a lot about how you're going to treat them when they become teenagers. And it's not a good look.
Whatever.
Uncle Matt, can I? Yes.
They're going to desert me long before that happens.
You don't deserve yes men, Matt. You keep them around.
It's true. I am happy to be back. I miss you guys so much.
Missed you too.
I also really, really missed the fact that I was not at that watch party earlier this week.
Yeah.
It looked like it was a ton of fun. I am so sad. I had so much FOMO.
Yeah.
Tell me how fun it was.
I honestly wish, and I said this on the show, you missed one. I really wish I could tell you it was okay, but it was not. It was amazing. It was absolutely awesome.
Did Joey get, arrested drunk? Or
No, Joey was chilling. He was just, going around enjoying his celebrity.
Uh-huh.
And doing
everybody
all those
wanted
things.
the Joey autographs, I hear.
Yeah, Joey Spathis autographs are being signed.
Yeah.
Parents were in the house to see it. You know what I mean? Shout out Mama Spathis. Shout out my man
missed
George.
Mama Spathis.
Yeah, man. Shout out
Mama
to them,
Spathis, if you're watching, I am so sorry. It is not like me to not attend things.
Yeah.
I cannot wait to meet you down the road.
It's not like him at all. But, everybody, they were like, where's Peck? I was like, he's sick. He's not feeling well. So they was like, what's up? But met a lot of cool people, a whole lot of just really awesome individuals, man, who really, really love what we do here. There was one guy I completely forgot to shout out. He and his brothers had showed up. I can't remember his name, but it was he and his brothers that showed up, and he said that he became a Bulls fan because of us. And because of watching the show. He was like, I became a fan of the Bulls because of y'all.
Spinning the wheel of random podcasts years ago?
He's a sports fan, but he was like, I became a fan of the Bulls. He's like, I was never really a Bulls fan like that. He was like, but y'all made me a Bulls fan. So because I love watching y'all show. So
that might be the nicest thing that anyone has ever said.
I told him,
about us doing this.
I said, I have no idea how to take this. But,
Damn.
But thank you very much.
Thank you, and nice. Also we're sorry that you are now a Bulls fan.
Nope. You know what you were getting on.
It's a tough lot in recent years.
You saw it. You know what you've been watching. You understand what we'll be bringing to this. So
yeah. I also saw that our pal Tim Sinclair showed up for a while.
Yeah, man. Tim came through. He told me if he had time, he would. He had some time. He popped up. I took him around, introduced him, to everybody. He signed some autographs, took a lot of pictures and stuff like that. But I'll tell you this, who really, really, truly, truly missed you?
Who?
Joey Spathis.
Oh.
And you know why Joey Spathis missed you? Because he was not on his game for those 2 days you were out of here, bro. He was not. And I was sitting here thinking it the whole time.
Wait,
I was
what?
like, he would have been on his game if Matt was here, because Matt would have been on his ass.
What do you mean not on my game?
You wasn't on your game, bro. You wasn't on top. You made quite a few of them missteps. You didn't even have a king of the game ready. When I was like, this king of the game.
That was an incredible besmirchment that I'm not just going to accept and roll with. First of all, let me explain something to you. Because the king of the game is a shared responsibility.
Oh, is it?
Peck and I collaborate. Who is the king of the game?
Thank you for saying that. Who did I just say you missed?
Peck. But why does the responsibility solely what were the other missteps? I'm curious.
When I sent you the game before, when I sent you a couple of Twitter pieces of, the standings, I asked you, I said, Joey, do you have those? You said, yeah. And then when I asked you for them on the show, were they ready? You did not have them.
It's tough for me sometimes when there's
you see, just accepting none of
requests. There's graphic requests coming in through Notion.
You know what?
Graphic requests in Notion and in Slack,
I am going to jump behind Joey to his defense now.
Please do.
Because
that was crazy criticism out of nowhere.
Joey has a very difficult job.
Yes, he does.
and I respect every single little thing he does.
Yes, all of it.
That goes into being a producer for us here at CHGO.
Yes.
And I do a lot, not as many, but as many as I can to help
this long man
Joey
along. Correct.
in all of his various tasks that are hard to keep track of as much as I can. And
what did I just say? He missed you because of that.
But
You
I'm saying
also
it's
just
not
said I
Joey's
was
fault.
off. You
It's
said I
my
was
fault.
horribly
He
off
missed
my
you.
game.
He missed you.
I was not here doing my part. And that's
What did I say?
But I'm saying that's
That's
not
what I
Joey's
just said.
fault. You're saying
missed
you're
you.
making it sound like that's Joey's fault. That's
I
not
said
Joey's
he
fault.
wasn't on top of his game because you weren't here, because you're on top of those things with him. That's what I said. How it was taken is not how I put it out there. But that's what I said. He wasn't on that, and I know you would have been on him for that. You would have been on top of him. Joe, you got that. Joe, you got this. Joe, you on that. Joe, you on this. I know that. I see it all the time. That's why I said he missed you. I told no lie here.
You said he missed you,
sir.
and then
He missed you.
he made
wasn't
a
on his
lot of
game.
mistakes.
I
That's
said
what
he
you
wasn't
said.
on his game.
Okay.
He wasn't on his game. He wasn't on top of it. He missed a couple shots. He missed a couple
Agree to
shots.
disagree on this
All
one.
the great ones missed shots.
I feel bad. I feel like that is an unwarranted shot at Joey.
What? Absolutely not. That is saying he missed you. That is exactly how I took
Yeah.
that. If you take that as a shot, I apologize.
All that does is make me feel guilty for not being here.
You should feel horribly guilty for not being here. How dare you get sick and leave Joey out there like that? That's right. How dare you? Don't do it again. Don't do that to Joey no more. How dare you, sir?
Well, we all know that just, it's Big Dave. It's just perfect.
No, not at all. I definitely made my mistake when I was sitting there. No question about it. Absolutely right, sir. I did my thing like that. But don't leave Joey like that again.
Okay, I won't.
How dare you?
I won't. I
How dare
promise. But we have people coming to Joey's defense. Colin saying, I happen to think Joe is the ace in this rotation.
He is awesome.
Christian saying, we won't allow any shaming of Joey or any CHGO producers. Shout out CHGO producers from on air commenting to off air. Y'all are great. I agree.
What do you say? Wait, get that one right there.
Which one?
Dave hit the 2-for-1 under. Dave hit the 2-for-1 under
Yeah.
the bus.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did.
No, he ain't under the bus, man. This is not an under the bus. This is not an under the bus situation, sir.
No.
Not at all.
Okay. Colin, I always thought Matt could make the flu sick, not the other way around. I'm going to take that as a compliment, even though I'm not sure it is. Okay, we've got actual basketball to talk about. Let's talk about basketball. Glad to be back. Appreciate the kind remarks in the comments. Those of you who are happy to have me back. I miss being here. Bulls have a doozy on deck tonight, Dave.
Okay.
Phoenix Suns. Might recall Bulls played them back in November.
Yes.
Western Conference team, so this is the second of 2 times they
Yes.
will face this team tonight. Part 1 did not go so well.
No.
Bulls lost by basically 20.
Yes.
Trailed by as many as 27.
Yes.
And you might also recall that Devin Booker went off in that game. And by off, I mean 51 in 3 quarters.
Yes.
And then the Suns said, you're done for the night. Take the 4th quarter off. Don't need it because you gave us 51 through 3. Look at the efficiency. 20 of 25 from the field. Dude got whatever he wanted. And meanwhile, hey, surprise, the Bulls shot 16% from 3. So that's a nice little trip down memory lane, isn't it?
No, it's not. But yes, I remember it well. And what scares me is they were not healthy at all. They didn't have any of their – I mean, Chris Paul wasn't there. Cam Johnson was out. They still had Miles Bridges, but he didn't play. The great Cameron Payne. You know what I'm saying? It was a lot of people that
Cam
sat
Payne
out.
did play in that game.
Not really. It was Devin Booker, and that's what his thing was, man. But it was just, I'm better than anybody that you have. And that's how he came out and he approached it. And it was just devastating. Like you said, 3 quarters of it. Sat out the 4th. Could have had a 70. That would have been absolutely disappointing for the Bulls to give up 2 70-point performances in a season. It could have happened, but thankfully he sat down. But yeah, man, and now it's even scarier because now Chris Paul's back. And then they bring in, this dude, I don't know if you heard of him, but his name is Kevin Durant. I don't know if you heard of that, but that is his name right there.
Yeah, we'll talk about Keedy in a minute coming up. Real quick shout out to our friends at DraftKings. Let's just delay the Kevin Durant reality for a minute here because I don't want to face it. Hit that thumbs up button while we're telling you about DraftKings. We appreciate it. Don't forget to get your NBA No Sweat Same Game Parlay in for tonight's action. I got mine in. Moment of truth. My parlay is a lot about the Suns doing good things and not so much about the Bulls. But you bet with your gut, right? Bet with your gut. But the good news is, if my parlay doesn't hit tonight, I'm going to get a bonus bet back because that is the awesome offer available right now at DraftKings for all NBA action. A no sweat same game parlay. Plus, all of those new users, new customers signing up with promo code CHGO can get that other incredible offer of a $5 bet down on any NBA games and $200 in bonus bets instantly. Regardless of whether or not you win that $5 bet, make a $5 bet with promo code CHGO at sign up, $200 in free bonus bets. Do it. I don't know about you. I'm a little surprised the Bulls are only 3.5-point dogs. I know they're playing at home tonight, but we're about to talk about the newest addition to the Suns team.
They're being nice.
We know who the Bulls are. I saw Anthony's question. He wanted to know what I thought about the Bulls almost coughing up a 20-point lead to the Pistons the other night. My thoughts? Sure. Of course they did. Surprised they won.
Oh my God!
It was 3.5-point dogs. Really? That's it.
Doing it at the watch party was even more fun because just seeing just how people's emotions.
Everybody
are doing
was like,
this.
"Oh, we got this one in the bag. That's nice. We can chat. Oh, where'd the lead go?"
Oh no, some of them were just on edge the entire time. Like there were definitely Bulls fans on edge the entire time. But during that whole comeback, you didn't know what to do. Right. You're like, you cannot lose to the Detroit Pistons. You can't go out like this, man. And thankfully, they pulled it out. But oh my God,
pulled it out.
Oh my God,
by the skin of their teeth, which is why I'm surprised to see them only underdogs by 3.5 points tonight.
Straight up and down.
Did I? You know what? I'm not going to say it. You make your own decisions. Do it at DraftKings Sportsbook. Sign up with promo code CHGO.
Yeah.
Okay, so about these new Phoenix Suns that have this other piece. They did lose a couple of pieces. Mikal Bridges, incredible player. Cam Johnson, really good, blossoming young player.
Yes.
Saw them recently in their new Brooklyn Nets jerseys. But they add Kevin Durant, a perennial MVP candidate, arguably top 15 player all time, who still has plenty in the tank. Tonight is his second game with the Suns and his second game back from injury. He missed 20 games with that MCL injury, most of which was with the Brooklyn Nets before the trade. He comes back Wednesday and just casually drops 23 on 10 of 15 in 27 minutes.
Okay.
Just saying, hey, you know what? And if you look at the other notes from that win, which was a win over the Hornets, no biggie, but I think this is why Kevin Durant moving to an already good team, kind of in a similar way he did with the Warriors, is immediately what makes the Suns team dangerous because he can be Kevin Durant to any degree on the Kevin Durant scale of talent and production that he needs to be while seamlessly fitting in to wherever he is.
True indeed.
Because Chris Paul had 11 assists in that game, doing Chris Paul things. Ayton had a double-double of 16 and 16, and Devin Booker went off for damn near 40.
Yes.
And Kevin Durant was like, cool, I'll get my shots here and there, try and see how I fit into this puzzle. Y'all do your thing. He's the most transferable piece in the NBA, and he showed it to us on Wednesday, and that's what the Bulls are facing now.
Yeah, he can do it anywhere on the floor that he wants to.
Right.
Like, he's bored with basketball. Like, that's how good he is. It's boring to him, just how good he is or can be. And you see it every time he plays. La-da-da-da-da. Here goes 40 points. Here goes 32. It means nothing to him. So I think he moves around. He's kind of like a mercenary, you know what I'm saying, for hire. Just moves to a different town, you know what I mean, and tries to help out over there. So it's a perfect fit. It was a perfect fit last year. And people thought that that's where he was going before the season started. Because remember, Phoenix was definitely one of those top teams that was trying to get him for sure.
Yeah.
And it was a perfect fit. He wanted to be there, you know what I mean? Having CP3 there, knowing his age, knowing he doesn't have to be a scoring load anymore. Whatever points he gives now is just added to it. You don't depend on him to get you 10, 12 points. You don't need that no more. He can just be who he wants to be, which is I'm just pass the ball, get these assists, get some steals, you know what I mean, and start the break. He can do those things now. So, and Devin Booker, you already know what kind of mode he's in. He had, like you showed, he had 37 that game. So, and Ayton is the key piece of this, all of this, because he can dominate whenever he feels like now.
Right.
So now he can put up those Vooch numbers, you know what I mean, the 13 and 17, the 15 and 17. You know, what do you have, 16 and 16?
16 and 16.
16 and 6, like it's nothing.
Yeah.
Then Cam Johnson just stands in the corner and can just shoot They're ridiculous. Kevin Durant makes everything easier, makes everything simpler because now you have another killer, and I mean a true straight up and down killer on your team who nobody can really defend.
Right. I mean, Chris Paul has had that reputation for most of his career. Some of it may be on him. Some of it might be on coaching, his teammates, whatever, as a guy who falls short in the playoffs, right?
Yes.
Devin Booker, incredible young talent, rising superstar level talent, hasn't proven anything in NBA playoffs yet.
Yeah, he hasn't. And
you add Kevin Durant, a NBA Finals MVP twice over, to that. And I know some people will shake their heads at that and say, oh, the super team Warriors, whatever. It's like,
still, somebody had to get it, and he deserved it.
He got it.
He was balling out of control, that one, man. So, yeah, he wins. Like, it's what he does.
Which I think is why everybody after this trade was like, oh, Suns are the favorite in the West now.
Yeah.
And I checked. I assumed as much, but I checked today. As of today, they are the favorites on DraftKings to win the Western Conference Finals.
Yeah.
They are at plus 230 to take the West right now. The Nuggets are behind them in second at plus 300. So not a huge margin there between 1 and 2. But they're second favorite to win the NBA title behind Boston. Suns are at plus 450 right now. Boston plus 270. I mean, I think it is perfectly logical to look at an addition of a player like Kevin Durant to the team that already existed.
Yeah.
And say, there's no reason they shouldn't make their way to the finals and maybe win it.
No, if they don't go to the finals, it's a failure. Because that's what he's there for. He's there to get them to the finals and win.
Because they didn't just give up a couple of good players; they gave up draft capital to get.
Yeah, exactly. So they mortgage their future, and when you mortgage your future to do something, that means you're trying to win. You know what I mean? Yeah. They've already been to the finals. They know what that feels like. They want to win, and this is a I want to win move.
I mean, they were close.
There were 2 games.
And they were up on the Bucks before the last games of that series happened.
And then Giannis said, "Oh yeah, I'm Giannis."
Woo, Giannis, man.
And then it was over. And Drew Holiday too. He went in, but yeah, now they have somebody to equalize that.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. Even in that, there isn't a team they can't match up with now. There's nobody that can really defend him. That in the NBA, you just kind of have to take it and hope he has an off night. And then what's scary, you have another dude like that on your team. You got Devin Booker on your team, man. Like, they're scary. Like, they're officially scary. I don't know where they're going to end up ranking-wise in the West.
You asked that. So they are currently fourth in the West. Yeah. And holding on to fourth by just a game over the Warriors, a game and a half over Dallas, who are at 5 and 6. You know, that like 4 to 10 range in the West is crazy stacked up and bunched together.
Yeah.
No one's catching Denver, I don't think. They have 5 games ahead of Memphis as the 2 seed. Sacramento's in 3. The Suns are 3 games behind Sacramento, 5 games behind the Grizz. You think they're going to catch either of them to leap up to 2 or 3?
Yes.
Yeah?
They're going to catch the Kings. Like that's.
I mean, the Kings are the Kongs.
Yeah, they're the Kongs. You know what I mean? Like
they're gonna find a way to screw up the last 10 games of their season.
Yeah, the Kings are gonna Kong. That is gonna happen. They're going to the playoffs.
The beam though, Dave.
Yeah, they're going to the playoffs. Like they're going to the playoffs.
I can't help it,
dude. They're nice. You know I love De'Aaron Fox. You know I do.
I do.
They're nice, but they're going to the playoffs. But Phoenix is gonna rise up a little bit. They're gonna at least get the number 3 seed. I see that for sure. Will they get 2 or 1? I think Denver has pretty much locked that up as far as, that number 1 seed, and they're going to need it because if anybody's got a true home court advantage, it's definitely the Denver Nuggets, with the altitude in Denver. So 4 games of that, 7 games of that, that's kind of tough. But yeah, man, I think they should move up to the 3rd at least. I don't know what Memphis is doing. They're up and then they're down and they're up and then they're down and then Ja's doing stuff and Dillon Brooks is talking shit and I don't know what's going on with them, man. So we'll see how they feel about staying there at the number 2 seed. But yeah, the Suns are coming, man. Like you should be worried. The Suns are coming.
If I ask you today, you can take the Suns or the field to win the West. Ooh. Are you taking the Suns or the field?
Oh, that's a great question.
I'm taking the field.
That's a great question.
They obviously are more dangerous than KD, but I've got 2 picks to win the West, and neither of them are Phoenix. Even now that they have KD.
That's tough, dude. That's tough. I'm gonna take the field. I'll take the field.
It would be, I think, a pretty solid addition to Kevin's resume. People knock him for those chips in Golden State, saying you joined a team that won 73 games last season.
Yeah.
Like, what are you, some hero to go win a championship with them twice? Not to say that it's super comparable as far as the team he's joining and the caliber, but like you're joining a team that has Chris Paul, aging vet, but a quality vet, in his prime superstar like Devin Booker, and a stud starting center like DeAndre Ayton, complementary pieces. You join that, that's why you're saying, like this is title time for Phoenix.
Man. That's the focus.
I think it would be obviously not only a big blow to KD and his legacy, if you want to call it that, if they fall short, but just the same the other direction. This would, I think, add some credit to those KD detractors who feel like he hasn't really proven anything.
True, but even they can come back with it and just be like, well, you had to go with CP3 and get Devin Booker and these kind of guys. You couldn't do it. Like, stars are going to play with stars. That's the NBA nowadays. It's a rarity that you don't see those guys together and making deep runs. Like, that's just what it is. Unless, Milwaukee, what I'm saying, is an exception. You know what I mean? Like that. But it's a rarity. Hopefully, let's see Denver. Let's see if they can do it, because that would be another exception if they could pull it off. But, man, Boston, Philly, you know what I mean? Like, these teams, like, come on, man. Like, this is what happens, bro. Dang, everybody says the field, though. Joey, who you got? Field or Phoenix?
I'll take Phoenix.
Phoenix? Oh,
Joey's rolling with Phoenix.
Ooh, okay. All right. I can see that.
I still got a bet out there for the beginning of the regular season on who the finals matchup is going to be. So
okay, I mean, you were on fire on your last one. So
it's still very much in play. So I'm not going to jinx it. But it has nothing to do with the Phoenix Suns. I'll tell you that.
But you don't. Well, no. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to.
I like this comment. I'm sorry. I don't know how to pronounce your name in the comments. Who said, "I know one thing: the Suns will go further than the Bulls."
Well, yeah.
I mean, that's not technically guaranteed to happen yet.
Yeah.
The Bulls could squeak in the play-in and then get a first-round series and somehow find out a way to win that while the Suns figure out a way to choke their first-round series.
That's what you're doing?
It's possible. I'm just saying it's possible.
That's what you're doing right now?
Likely? Hell no.
You going to put some money on it?
No.
What odds would the odds have to be for you to put money on that?
Put money on what? The Bulls going further in the playoffs than the Suns?
Yeah.
I would not put money on that.
Like, just there's nothing.
No, there's no circumstances.
No circumstance at all.
I also never put money in my toilet and flushed it. I mean, come on.
You're not living. You're missing out.
Meanwhile, Colin asking, did Matt call CP3 a solid vet? I did.
Oh, my God.
Doesn't mean I still don't hate him.
Yeah,
CP3 can go to hell. He's a solid vet.
You can be fair.
Yeah.
And then hate.
You can be fair in my hate.
It's one of the things he's learned from me.
Before we wrap up pregame, a little bit more developed on the Bulls side of things. This was one of the games where I was out of commission, but I did watch it from home and saw what happened, and then saw people posting the reclip of that vid.
Yeah.
After a Bulls defensive sequence where Pat Bev got beat off the dribble, and then Vooch was not paying timely attention to come over and help off his man, he and Pat Bev got into a little bit. And it appeared on camera like Vooch was not taking kindly to Pat Bev getting up in his grill about it. And Vooch addressed it at this morning shoot-around. This is what he had to say. Said, people always make a big deal out of when players argue on the court. That's part of the game. We're competitors. We're trying to make the right play. Sometimes you don't agree on the same thing in the moment. Talk it out. It's over with. And that is via Casey Johnson of NBC Sports Chicago. So, what do you think about this, Dave? The whole interaction as it happened, and then Vooch's side of the story.
I mean, the interaction I loved. Let me say that I loved every second of it. It's what I wanted Pat Bev for. Is to do that kind of thing right there. Call out when you screw up. You call them out. Like, dude, you screwed up, bro. Like, this is what you did. You messed up. This is this right here. And it wasn't in a mean way, but it was in a stern way. Like, bro, you're supposed to be right here. You know what I'm saying? But have your man. The accountability. You know what I mean? I love that. And I didn't like Vooch's response to it because I don't know what leg you standing on. You know what I mean? Like, bro, he's right. You weren't there. You weren't there. Just be like, my bad. You know what I'm saying? I'll fix it. Yo, let's go. Let's get it together. I don't know what side he was taking on that. So when I heard that response, again, I would hear it if there was another side. You know what I'm saying? Like, I would feel that if there was like, okay, you clearly, you know what I'm saying? Okay, I didn't see it. I fell asleep, whatever. You know what I mean? If you said something like that.
You know what the other side is? Pat Bev got absolutely torched by his man off the dribble.
Yeah.
Torched.
That happens in the league. And the big man is still supposed to be there, though. He's still supposed to be there. That's his rotation, is to be there in the middle and not give up that layup.
Our guy Parra Jr. in the comments pointing out that in that column Casey wrote about this incident and Vooch's thoughts on it, he also had a quote where he explained he admitted that he made a mistake on that play, but Vooch also talked about guys who are this competitive playing the NBA. In that moment, nobody immediately wants to admit that they're the one who's wrong or that they're the one who made a mistake.
I would.
So
maybe that's how I'm thinking of it wrong.
That's why you're not in the NBA.
Again, that's why I'm thinking of it wrong. If I do something wrong, I'm like, all right, dude, I did it.
When you see a player look bewildered out into the crowd or bewildered at a ref when they make a call and they show the replay and it's like, dude, you hacked him. Of course. Like, why are you confused by this foul?
Right.
Who else is guilty of that? Pat Bev. But
all the time. Yes.
It's like, dude, but that is an example of what Parra talks about, what Vooch was talking about. Like, in the moment, no one is immediately like, oh, that's my bad. The only time they do that is when they are heady enough to know that one of their teammates who may be called for that foul just now is in foul trouble and they can afford one. And then they're like, oh, yeah, that was me.
Right.
That's the only time a player on an NBA court admits immediately that it was their fault.
Okay, that's fair. That's very, very fair. But sitting and watching it, nobody could really understand why he was feeling and reacting that way. Because even watching it in real time, you were like, no, dude, you did that. Like, you did it. That's what you did, bro, period.
Okay, so perhaps a little context. This came from our other pal, Joe Cowley of the Sun-Times, who also wrote on this today. He said, according to a source close to the situation, Vooch hasn't been thrilled with some of the recent finger-pointing, and this wasn't the first time he was unhappy with the tone directed at him and other teammates.
Okay.
While the source said it wasn't just a Beverly Vooch thing, quote-unquote, it does put the team's leadership hierarchy in question. The leadership hierarchy in question thing at the end, that's just Cowley pontificating, right?
Yeah,
we can ignore that.
The committee.
Love you, Joe. But the stuff before that, to me, is Joe legitimate sourcing stuff about Vooch not being thrilled about finger pointing.
Okay.
From a new teammate who's been around for a week now and loves pointing his finger at people.
I mean, you know who you signing up for. You know what he does. You know who
Vooch didn't sign up for
it. You know what I mean? You signed that contract. You signed up to get anybody on the team.
Is it just me when the Bulls posted that video to their social, Twitter, Insta of Pat Bev making his arrival walking through the Advocate Center?
Talk about yes. I saw it.
Did we all notice the body language when he greeted Vooch?
I saw it immediately.
Because it seemed like there was some shit there.
Yep, I saw it. I watched it twice because it looked weird. I was like, wait a minute, dog. He wasn't even.
I was like, oh, Vooch doesn't like him.
My first thought was maybe that he saw him already. And maybe he's just like, oh, I'm seeing him again, so it's no big thing. But now after seeing this, I'm like, maybe not. Maybe that was the first time, and he don't like that shit. That's fine, because Pat Bell's been in the league for a long time. So I'm sure he and Vooch have matched up, and maybe he's done that shit on another team to him.
Right.
And he ain't like that, and they ain't forgot something like that. You know what I'm saying? I get it. He's a prideful person. He always has been. We saw how angry he got when he's playing bad. Mouthpiece goes flying. You know what I mean? He's angry. He gets upset at those things. Completely get it. My whole thing was, so, bro, you were wrong. That's all I was looking at. Like, dude, you're wrong. You could just say you're wrong. It's fine. But that point you made about it being in the heat of the moment, maybe not seeing it, maybe not feeling it, completely understand that. For me, it's hard to see that, but I get that point. I really do. But, man, dude, I'm glad they settled that. He feels like they came to an end on it. And, yeah, we'll see what it looks like tonight. Now, after that, I was even more interested to watch it tonight to see what that can do for the team.
We got people chiming in with their 2 cents on the matter in the comments. Parra Jr. saying, I will say I don't like the finger pointing either. It's like forced accountability and seems toxic more than constructive. Anthony, meanwhile, saying, Vooch, man up. They're soft. Need some fire for this team. Diza saying Vooch was pissed because he hadn't been involved in that game either. That was frustration. Laura Lou with the worst 2 cents saying Vooch just mad because he's bad. Really?
Shout out Laura Lou.
I'm sorry. Shout out Laura Lou. Always hanging out in the comments. Appreciate you.
Yeah.
He is not bad.
He's
one
an interesting one.
He's one of the best 15 to 20 big man basketball players on the planet.
That's an interesting one that he didn't.
That he wasn't involved in the game?
That he wasn't involved in the game. That's interesting. To look at that right there.
Could be. But this is what I was saying. When we were sitting here a couple weeks back and the Pat Bev news had happened, we knew he was arriving, but he hadn't arrived yet.
Yeah.
We were talking about expectations. One of the things that I said I was very curious to see what would happen is we all know the kind of player and voice that Pat Bev is. What would the response be from the Bulls locker room to a guy that demonstrative showing up and getting added to the locker room, especially for a team that has been falling short of expectations, running out of time to figure out their shit, and knowing that Pat Bev, being a guy who's pridefully from Chicago, excited to play for his hometown team and wants to come in and fix things and help get them to the playoffs, was going to come in and start maybe pointing fingers, but definitely talking.
But I thought also that he knew who to do that to, because I also felt like if it was a younger player, he wouldn't have approached it in that way. He still would have held him accountable, but he wouldn't have approached it that way. Vooch, 10-year vet, he's like, oh, let's get to the point. You know what I mean? Let's. I don't have to put cheese on this. Let's just get right to it, bro. This, and this. You know, and you see that when he's talking to the young guys,
right?
You know, that's why he's always around them, even when they do something wrong. He's hugging them. You know what I mean? He's talking to them. He's in his face. He's kind with his words. With the veterans, you're like, bro, you 10, 12 deep. I don't have to do that with you. I could just be for real with you. And I thought that's what he was doing with Vooch, but found out that Vooch don't want you to be that for real with him. Like, he wants you to approach it a little differently.
And okay, like, if you watch that play, and Vooch, explained it in great detail at shoot-around this morning, like, he's the low man, big man who should have come over off his man help and didn't. He knew if I try and put myself in Vooch's shoes, it's like, okay, we know that you're a vet who's coming here because you want to help us, you want to help us make this playoff run, and this team is maybe lacking in leadership a little bit. I know I needed to be there. I know it's my. You don't need to yell at me right now, in this moment, in front of everybody, to just prove a point about how such a staunch leader you are.
See, and I don't know, man. I was brought up different, because for me that wasn't even yelling, like that wasn't even mad. That was just like, bro, you're supposed to be right there. I didn't even. See, take
this is a microcosm of the Joey not being on his. We all take criticism. It's serious though. We all.
What? No, you're right.
We all take criticism differently. We all give it out differently.
That's a great point. No, that is a really good point. He's absolutely right in that. You know what I mean?
So you're saying I wasn't here to yell at Joey?
No. He's right how I said it and how he took it.
Me and Big Dave just didn't see it the same way, because we have it. It's just how we feel.
It was just the same. Yeah. No, he's absolutely right.
And there are a lot of different ways to read into this so far. It's fascinating. And I know Will and Mark spent some of the time on their HQ episode yesterday talking about the Vooch and Pat Bev stuff. Go listen to that if you haven't yet. They had some interesting thoughts on it. I mean, we all knew that it was going to be a wild card of how Pat Bev would interact with his new teammates.
That's what I wanted.
We'll see it play out. I think for now, it seems like water under the bridge.
Yeah.
Like Vooch said, it's over. We move on. It's, it's a heated environment. We're all trying to,
You can't say younger generation about sitting when you're talking about Nikola Vucevic. He's not part of that. He's part of the Pat Bev generation, bro. That's not it, bro.
I think they're like, maybe a year or two apart?
Yeah, right.
He's 34, Vooch is 32.
32, like, you know what I mean? No, bro, it ain't that.
I yell at my 34-year-old friends all the time who haven't turned 35 yet. They're just so immature. My 36-year-old friends do the same thing to me. It's awful. All right, it is after 7 o'clock. That means tip-off is right around the corner.
Breaking news.
The Chicago Bulls are finalizing a deal to convert two-way guard Carlik Jones. A standard NBA contract for the rest
Just
of the
now, Shams bringing in the Carlik Jones fire. Also, I saw, and meant to mention it earlier, Billy switching things up tonight.
Yes.
Patrick Williams back in the starting lineup.
We talked about that on the show for sure.
However,
guard KD.
He is not on the DraftKings first bucket list, so we are going Zach LaVine plus 800.
Zach LaVine for the first bucket?
Ride with me.
Do it up. We're about to watch this dude take some victory laps around the studio. We'll be right back here for postgame. You know who's going to join us? It's our friend Kyle Williams, who just showed up. Hi,
Protege.
Thanks for watching Pregame, everybody. Hit that thumbs up button, and we'll talk to you in a couple hours.
I mean, why not?
See, that'd be good.
Peace.